Good morning to all you awesome people. I welcome you all on our YouTube channel JPSC Simplified. Let's crack JPSC. So, my dear friends, from today onwards, I am going to start a new topic, that is Land Acts of Jharkhand. Land Acts of Jharkhand is mentioned in your prelims syllabus as well as it is mentioned in the mains syllabus. Here you can see in the prelim syllabus in paper 2 there will be 12 questions from Land Acts of Jharkhand. That is about 24 marks out of 200 marks will come from this topic. So you can gauge the importance of this topic. Okay. So under Land Acts of Jharkhand, we will have three subtopics. They are the Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act of 1908, the Santhal Pargana Tenancy Act of 1949, and we have other state acts and rules. So there will be about 12 questions from this topic. So this topic becomes very important from the examination point of view. Now you must be wondering that why we have to study the land acts of Jharkhand. So my dear friends, what happened that the Britishers got the Diwani rights over Bengal, Bihar and Odisha in the year 1765. Okay, and in 1769, they came to the area of Jharkhand and started their rule. By hook and crook, they captured the land of the tribal people. So the tribals revolted against the Britishers. You know that there are many tribal revolts that took place in the area of Jharkhand that we will study in the upcoming classes. Don't you worry. Okay, but now you just remember that to get back their land, there were several tribal revolts that took place in the area of Jharkhand. So finally, the Britishers realized in order to rule over the area of Jharkhand, they have to carry out certain administrative reforms, and in that only they introduced several land acts which constituted the Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act of 1908, the Santhal Pargana Tenancy Act of 1949, and there were also some other state acts and rules that we will study here. So let's begin. Now, we will start with the Santhal Pargana Tenancy Act, which came into force in the year 1949. Okay, see, Santhal Pargana district, it was constituted in the year 1855. During that period, Santhal Pargana also included the area of Bhagalpur and Veerbhum. Okay, and one very important fact that you have to remember, that the old name of Santhal Pargana is Jungle Tari Track, Damine Ko Nari Khand. So a question may be asked to you that Santhal Pargana is known by the name of, and two three options will be given to you. Okay, so you must remember that Santhal Pargana in the earlier times was known by the name of Jungle Tari Track. It was also known as Damine Ko, and also it was known as Nari Khand. So these three names you should remember. Okay, now the original inhabitants of this area are known as Padhaiya. What they are known as? They are known as Padhaiya. So in the present time, Santhal Pargana constitutes 6 districts. They are Dumka, Deoghar, Godda, Pakur, Jamtara and Sahebganj. So majorly the northeast part of Jharkhand. Here in this map you can see Deoghar, Jamtara, Dumka, Godda, Sahebganj and Pakur. So these 6 districts, the northeastern portion of Jharkhand, constitute the present Santhal Pargana region. And one more important thing you should remember, that Santhal Pargana is no more a district. Okay, Santhal Pargana is a region which constitutes 6 districts. Okay, so basically Santhal Pargana highland, in the geography you will study that Santhal Pargana highland is a major physiographic division of Jharkhand. Okay, now see the next fact. The first Rayat law in this area, it was in 1872, and that was known as Santhal Pargana Settlement Regulation Act. Okay, now the SPT Act of 1949, it was framed year 1949, and to frame this law, Santhal Pargana Enquiry Committee was constituted by the Bihar government in the year 1937. Okay, now Santhal Pargana Tenancy Act of 1949, it has 9 sections or 9 chapters, whatever you want to call, and 72 clauses or 72 sections. That is, somewhere you will find section and clauses, and somewhere you will find chapter and section. So both of these terminologies, they are used. Okay, so but the most important thing that you should remember is Santhal Pargana Tenancy Act of 1949 constitutes 9 sections or chapters and 72 clauses or sections. Okay, now we will have a brief overview of the sections that are there in the Santhal Pargana Tenancy Act of 1949 and the clauses that comes under these sections, and in the subsequent lectures we will see these clauses in details. So the section 1, it constitutes basically the brief name, start and extension of this Santhal Pargana Tenancy Act of 1949. It the clauses 1 to 4 comes under this section. Okay, now section 2, it constitutes village headmen and mul rayyats, and clauses 5 to 11 comes under this section. Section 3 tells us about the rayyats. Clause 12 to clause 26 comes under this section. Section 4 explains us about the wasteland and their settlement. Clauses from 27 to clause number 42 comes under section 4. Section 5, it explains us about the rent. Clauses from 43 to 52 comes under this section. Section 6 consists of acquisition of land by landlord, and clause number 53 comes under this section. Section 7, it explains us about the judicial procedure. Clause 54 to 63 comes under this section. Section 8, it explains us about the limitations. Clause number 64 to clause number 66 comes under this section. Now the next section that we have is the ninth section and the last section. It consists of miscellaneous provisions. Okay, and clause number 67 to clause number 72 comes under this section. So this was a little brief overview of the sections and the clauses that are mentioned in the Santhal Pargana Tenancy Act of 1940. What? 1949. You should remember. Okay. Now, there are some important points that also you should remember. What are those? See, number 1 point. In 1990, there was 66th Constitutional Amendment Act. Through this 66th Constitutional Amendment Act, the central government put all the clauses of the Santhal Pargana Tenancy Act in the ninth schedule except clause number 53. This you should remember. A question may be asked to you in the examination, that except which schedule every other clause of this act is included in the ninth schedule. So you must remember that except clause number 53. And through which constitutional amendment this was done? So through 66th Constitutional Amendment Act in the year 1990. Okay. Now in Santhal Pargana and Tenancy Act, we also have a provision of land return policy. Okay, so under clause 20 and clause number 42, collector, or in Jharkhand we pronounce this as deputy chairman, can return the transferred land to the original landholder if transferred by unlawful means. That is, there is a provision in Santhal Pargana Tenancy Act of 1949 under clause 20 and clause 42 that if any land is transferred in an unlawful manner, deputy commissioner or collector has the power to return the transferred land to the original landholder. So one more important point that we have, that under section 13 of SPT Act, under section 13 of the SPT Act, earlier it was there that the nature of the land holding cannot be uh, converted. But in 2016, an amendment was brought by the government that the nature of the land holding can be changed. That is, if there is an agricultural land, that agricultural land can be used for the purpose of industries. But later it was seen that there was a lot of misuse of this provision. So in the year 217, government took back this amendment. So these three important points you should keep in mind. A question may be asked to you from this point. So this was overall a brief introduction of the Santhal Pargana Tenancy Act of 1949. In the next lecture, we will go deep into this Tenancy Act. We will see each and every clause. That is, there are total 72 clauses, and we will see all those 72 clauses. Though you don't have to remember all those 72 clauses, but you have to have a brief overview of those clauses, that actually what is written in that clause. So a statement may be given to you and you have to mark the right answer. So once or twice if you have read those clauses, you will feel it easy to answer those questions. We will also practice some of the practice questions from this topic, and you will see that this topic will become very easy for you. Okay, so for today's lecture we will wind up here only. We will meet again in the next lecture. Till then, my dear friends, read, revise, enjoy your day, and thank you.